One. All right, welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Philadelphia Eagles Talk with Geoff and Matt. Make sure before we get started, you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. All right, for today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about the second preseason game against the Browns. Some highlights, so I guess some thumbs up, some thumbs down regarding the game. Not really a lot to talk about. The Eagles really just played their third and fourth stringers. But there's some things we'll get into regards to that game, and then of course we'll talk about some injuries, which are starting to mount a little bit as they tend to do as you get closer to the season and as you get deeper into training camp. Nothing major, but we'll talk about it a little bit. And then of course the Eagles and Howie ended up making a little trade during the week, and what better time to bring in our friend and guest of the program? We'll bring him on a little bit later. Some of you remember Nick, the Texans fan. So Eagles don't play the Texans this year, but we figured, we'd like to kind of go around the league at times on this program and talk about other teams, other divisions, and whatnot. Even though we primarily obviously focus on the Eagles and the NFC East, but we'll bring Nick on and get his thoughts on the Houston Texans season, and obviously talk about get his thoughts on the Metchie. Because he was drafted by the Texans, so we'll get a little inside scoop on Metchie. Okay, so without further ado, Matt, welcome as always. You got any opening thoughts?
Nope, just no opening thoughts. Glad to be back as always. I think where my thoughts are at is I'm getting into that adrenaline pumping feel of like, that Thursday night opener is only a week and a half, 2 weeks away, right, from tomorrow night. So what is it, 1 week from tomorrow? 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. They open the season on a Thursday night.
Right, September, I guess 2 weeks, September 4th, right? September 4th.
Yeah, a couple weeks. Yeah, so we're getting close.
So close. I do have the feeling that Howie's not done making deals before we get to that opening night game. So we'll see what else is up Howie's sleeve. Well, I just feel like he ain't done. I don't think he's done. I think maybe there's one more trade to be had. We'll see. There was rumors and speculation that the Eagles were possibly one of the teams that called about Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that I agree with that. I think that might just be buzz. I think Hendrickson's a great player, but if you were to talk to Bengals fans, I think they're kind of where I'm not sure if they believe that Hendrickson is the guy that's going to help save their defense. I was talking to a Bengals fan this week, and his opinion was, if you look at the games where he had some of his stats racking up, like 3 sacks, a 3 week span of playing some really poor teams and some poor quarterback play and injured offensive lines, and he's able to rack up these sacks. And he's like, where is he to stop the run? Who knows? So the one Bengals fan I talked to was not very high on them trying to even work out Hendrickson's deal. He's like, no, if he's not gonna play out his final year, we cannot possibly trade him away. Like, just let him sit out, is where the thing is at. So I thought that was interesting because, I don't know, you can always use pass rush help, though. He's not a slug at the same time. So,
No, I mean, my thoughts on that are kind of the same as they were when there was the TJ Watt rumors that were going on. And it's just, it would be great to add a guy like that, especially after some of the veterans the Eagles had to let go last year. They have a very young line going into the season. Be great to have a vet guy that's established like him come in. But as we've talked about, and this is the reason why there's no chance in my mind of this happening, is we know the Eagles have a lot of players they have to pay over the next couple of years. They have to re-up, or they're gonna have to, sign Jalen Carter to a long-term contract. They got the cornerback. You got the 2 cornerbacks, Cooper. You got John Quentin Mitchell, right? I mean, they're not immediate, but with the next couple of years, you can't have these super gigantic contracts that the Eagles are going to bury themselves in, and not being able to keep these younger guys. So it's just same. Again, I have the same thought process as I did with the TJ Watt rumors. It's just not going to happen. It'd be great to have a guy in here, but he's too expensive. Not only you got who knows what you got to trade for him, But then you got to sign him to a $40-50 million contract over 3 or 4 years. And he's 30 years old. So another strike against him. So that's my thoughts on any of those. I have heard the rumors that you're talking about, but they're just that. They're just rumors. I don't think there's any interest on Howie's part just because of the money it's going to cost. So.
And both of those players that we talked about before, McLaren and with the Commanders at wide receiver and Hendrickson as defensive end with the Bengals, they're both in almost the same situation. Like the teams don't have to budge at all. If they sit out, then the team's going to find them and get their money back. And how long are you going to sit on giving up $800,000 paychecks? Like ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So they're both going to come into camp and eventually play, even if it's not until the week before the first game. But that's how I see that playing out. So that's where I do feel like, though, Howie is always scrubbing that roster. And, does he trade for somebody? Maybe not, but he'll always be looking how he's active in those cutdown weeks when he's on the team.
I think he'll be active. I agree.
Yeah. I do believe he's going to solidify the offensive line a little bit more. And I don't know if it's going to happen through trade or what, because we went through last episode talking about what happens if Landon Dickerson is out or one of those other starters, and we actually realized, you know what, we're not that deep as we were last year, with Fred Johnson and with Mekhi Becton earning that starting role, right? So Tyler Steen being the backup to Becton. So we'll see what happens, but there's a couple more moves left to go.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think Howie will be active. Keep a close eye on those close roster cuts, the ones that are sort of towards the end. These teams that will really want to kind of hold on to guys, but end up having to release them. Those are the ones that Howie might swoop in and try to snap. Or he'll be proactive, and before they're released, maybe like in the Metchie case, we'll get Nick's take on it to find out what was going on with the inner workings of the Texans. Were they about to release Metchie? And the Eagles, how we got word of that and said, hey, before he goes out there and anybody can get him, we'll give you something. What do you guys need and that type of thing. We'll see if he has any insight on that. I'm not sure because I really don't know what happened with the Metchie case, but it might have been in a situation where the Texans were pretty deep at receiver. Might have been he might have been a cut there before the end of preseason. So. Okay, so without let's see. The other thing I want to talk about, like I said, real quick, is any thoughts on game 2? Now, to me, the big highlight or the big story come out of the second preseason game was Makuba and the game that he had. I mean, here's a guy who, and you guys, we know where we stand, at least me, and I think Matt, you're a Sidney Brown guy too. But for me, I'm on the record saying I want Sidney to win that starting job. And you got Makuba who comes out in his first preseason game and gets a nice pick six, a beautiful play. And then gets a fumble recovery as well, played well in the game, and certainly made those splash plays that get everyone's attention. And now we find out that, before I get into the injury, because he did get banged up, and now he's going to miss some more time. It's not a bad injury, but again, he's going to miss a little bit more camp. He didn't practice today. So again, Sidney Brown has almost got like a chance to kind of reestablish himself. And to me, it's almost like the NFL gods are like, let's pump the brakes on Makuba. Here's Sidney Brown, who's been busting his ass. He's never really got a chance because he's had his own injuries, an ACL tear himself, has never had a chance to really start. And here's maybe the football gods saying, hey, Sidney, we recognize how much work and effort you put in. You had a chance to start at safety this year. We're going to give you one more shot at this thing to get another chance at it. I don't know, just me because I'm still pro Sidney. But I love what I saw to Makuba. It's not like I'm rooting against Makuba. I mean, I want the guy to play well, and I think ultimately he's probably going to be the starter. But I want Sidney to get a chance. I just want Sidney to get a shot at starting, and and he's going to get an opportunity here with the injury to Makuba. But anyway, your thoughts on Makuba's game and anything else coming out of preseason game 2?
Well, I'm definitely bigger on Makuba than you are. I do like Brown, but I'm like, well, may the best man win. But at the same time, I love the play, but I'm pumping the brakes on Makuba because the throw by Gabriel was awful. Like that whole play was like it was almost like Gabriel threw the ball because I don't think he saw Makuba sitting behind.
Yeah, I don't think he did either.
Receiver on the right, and then he's putting it where two receivers are not supposed to be on the same part of the field anyways, and Makuba's just hiding there waiting to pounce. Now, at the same time, though, playmakers make plays. How many cornerbacks let that ball just hit their hands and fall to the ground? And Makuba's like, I'm going all the way for 6. So, and then he gets the fumble recover later. So, if he has a nose for the football, then that's awesome. I do think both of those guys are going to see plenty of playing time this year in some way. I do like my favorite thing about preseason football when the starters aren't playing is that I don't see Cooper DeJean running back punts. And that's my favorite part of preseason. And I don't know if Jonathan Metchie is going to help out there or what their plan is, but I really don't want to see Cooper DeJean running back punts. I want to see him on the defensive field making plays and just kind of keeping them safe. I don't trust it as a punt. There's been so many plays where I'm like, not, in the return game and in the protection and all that stuff. Like, how many times do you see that punter just get popped because he's waiting on the ball? He's called the fair catch. He's got to catch it. And, even if he doesn't call the fair catch and guys are coming at him, like, I just don't want to see Cooper DeJean taking these free hits. So, let's go with somebody else in that role. So that's really all I have. I'm not impressed with anybody else. I would love to see Jeremiah Trotter Jr. step up and make a stick or play. And I'm like, just nothing special so far. We're also playing a vanilla defense, though, so you don't know how Vic is going to exactly use these guys. But that was really it. Makuba was the only bit to talk about for the Eagles. And Brandon Mann's punting. He was crushing the ball. That's about it.
Yeah, it's not. That says a lot about the game. It speaks volumes about the game when the punter's a highlight. But he was booming them. Averaged like 52 yards per punt and kicked it like 6 or 7 times. So good to see out of the special teams unit. The other thing is still no, talking about trying to find someone who's going to stand out or take the reins at the number 2 cornerback slot. We're still trying to figure out who's going to be the one that's going to emerge. All 3 of them were in there and none of them really stood out again. But we'll see. There's still another preseason game left, and they're gonna have to pick somebody there. Now, Cooper, speaking of Cooper, he got some reps at the cornerback spot the last couple of days. So that's always an option. I don't want to see Cooper only because, not that I don't trust the guy. I think he'd be a great corner, but I'd much rather have, we talked about this before, I'd much rather have up in the box in a slot where he could do more damage as a blitzer, play and support the run as well as cover, the either it's a tight end or the slot receiver. So we saw what he did last year as a slot corner. So
I'll throw out one idea at that cornerback spot though. So unrestricted free agent still on the market is Rasul Douglas. So I don't know how low he is in his older age, but I'm like, if I still have a concern there and I just need a guy that can come in and make plays, I would take a look and kick the tires at Rasul Douglas, former Eagle, former Packer, former Bill, and has always been making plays throughout his career. So that's a curious one to me, is what happens if Rasul is still there and we still have question marks. So
the other thing I'd say about that game is, to me, it's now clear that we're going to have something Robinson, the third quarterback, played horrible. Robinson, and I think without question now the Syracuse quarterback will be the one that's going to be the third quarterback on the team.
I thought you said cornerback. I'm like, there ain't no Robinson.
No, quarterback. Yeah. No, quarterback.
Yeah, D-Rob.
Yeah, right. He didn't look all that great. So I think that was his last shot to try to make a stab to beat a number 3. And he didn't play. He didn't look impressive at all. So I think he's going to be the quarterback that'll be cut come the end of camp.
I agree.
All right. So without any further ado, let's talk about the trade. So Howie this week, kind of surprising to us because we've been talking about the wide receiver depth that the Eagles have this year. So it's kind of interesting that Howie went out and decided to trade for a wide receiver. So enter John Metchie, the second-round draft pick from the Houston Texans. So, before we get started on the full discussion, let's bring in Mr. Texan fan himself, I'm just going to keep you as Nick, if that's all right. We'll keep everything, on the, I don't want to.
Yeah, I guess I'll go by Nick, but I like my name a little bit better there. Texans better than the Eagles.
Hey,
What?
just remember, I can put this behind for my screensaver.
Yeah.
I could put a couple of them if I wanted to.
Texans better.
Yeah, well, McNabb didn't get his, so that's all that matters.
What are you bringing up McNabb for?
Gotta give some shivs where I can.
Oh,
But no, as far as Metchie, that one hurt. Any
yeah,
Texans
just give us a
fan,
little.
any
First of all,
Texans
just
fan-
give us a little background because some of our audience maybe didn't catch you the first time you were on a podcast. I think that we were doing a live stream when you jumped on. So this one's not a live stream. So just give a quick little background. How did you become a Texan fan of all teams? Because I know you're from Connecticut, right? I mean, you have no links to Texas, do you? Not that I'm aware of.
No, sir. No, I do not.
Okay, so yeah, just give us a little background, and then we'll get into the Metchie talk.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm much younger than what I look, by the way, you guys. I'm actually 33, although I look probably 50, all my students say. So the first ever time I got into football was 2002. And Patriots were in the process of winning 3 out of 4, the Tuck rule, everything like that, Raiders. I'd watch that Super Bowl, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So then the next year I decided to watch football. And I didn't want to be a Patriots fan, didn't want to be a bandwagon fan.
That was a good decision.
So yeah, I hate bandwagon fans. That's not me. Never has been me. Although 2 of my teams, I guess you could call bandwagon. I'm a Pacers fan, which they did well, so everyone's like, "Oh, bandwagon." But you've known me for what 5 years now, and I always talk about Pacers and get made fun of. Now I'm a Yankees fan, and I just coming in Connecticut, your Yankees, Mets, or Red Sox. That's just how it is. But first game I ever watched was Cowboys versus the Texans. And I did not know at the time that it was the Texans' first ever game. So I've actually been watching the Texans since their inaugural game.
I didn't know that.
And I've been a fan ever since.
And they beat the Cowboys. They
did beat the Cowboys, yes. David Carr got sacked 5 times on his record of 74 sacks in a season, and not the good type of sacks.
That's right. Yeah, he got sacked. Oh, my God. Felt bad for him that year. But, hey, that was another good decision, by the way. So 2 good decisions. Not a Patriot fan, and then your first game was the Cowboys and Texans, and you chose, what we would certainly say in Philly as the better team.
Or the counterpart, the other Geoff probably wouldn't agree with you, but
no, he wouldn't. But that's okay. He spells his name wrong, so we don't talk about it. I wonder if he'll join me on this podcast at some point. We'll see. I might ask him to come on.
So
I know he should.
Give us the deets.
All 3 of us can riff together.
It'll be good. It'll be good entertainment, that's for sure.
So what's the scoop on Jonathan Metchie III?
Yeah. Give us a download.
John Metchie, that one hurt to get rid of. For those of you who don't know John Metchie's story, he was drafted by the Texans. Right after he was drafted, during his physical, they found out he had stage 3 cancer.
Right, leukemia, right?
Yeah. So he had stage 3 and ended up missing his entire rookie year. Ended up thankfully beating it, and then came back the next year 30 pounds lighter. And he's a small guy as it is, so 30 pounds lighter. He just couldn't get anything going. This last year, he put on about 15 pounds and was able to do pretty well. I think he had about 300 yards and a touchdown. And then during the preseason, he looked phenomenal. He's back to his original weight coming out of college, right after he got drafted. So he was looking bulky. He did amazing. And in week 1, he had 8 catches during the preseason.
Nice.
Okay.
And then the next preseason game, he had 1 catch. And then our tight end went down. And I was like, okay, we have a lot of wide receivers. We don't have much tight end depth. What's going to happen? Voila. John Metchie gets traded for a ham sandwich.
I mean, he was barely an Eagle. I mean, he hasn't played any regular season games with us. We picked him up during this past off season as just a veteran backup because he's got playing experience, obviously NFL experience. He probably wasn't going to sniff the field for us, to your point, right? But he is a veteran.
Yeah,
I
think
can't
his
tell you
best
as
season
much
ever
about
was
him
like
as you can us
270
Metchie. He was
maybe.
barely an Eagle. Yeah, he was barely an Eagle, so we don't know much about him, unfortunately.
No,
Yeah, well, he was a Brown for a while. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Yes.
No, I was gonna
Right.
say when this trade went down, I'm like, oh, Metchie. I've heard of Metchie. I think I even had him on my fantasy team late last season, just because I was like desperate at wide receiver. I'm like, oh, this guy's playing pretty well for the Texans. Let me just throw that guy in there. Couldn't tell you who Harrison Bryant was. I'm like, I have no idea. I was like, who did the Eagles trade? I'm like, oh, tight end Harrison Bryant. I'm like, that feels like a win for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got scraped in that. And then sorry, we got a 5th round back. No, we got a 4th round pick back for giving you guys a 5th round too. So
Right.
there's that.
Ironically, they swapped the same picks that were involved in the DJ Gardner.
DJ Gardner Johnson. Yeah, we got our original pick back.
Right. They swapped those original picks back. Correct. Who, by the way, just a quick update on him, because I know he got injured. Didn't he get injured in training camp? Now, what is his status? Is he going to be ready to go for opening day, or is he going to miss some time? Or has he been missing time? Go ahead.
He hasn't played yet. He was on the sideline today for the first time. And at first, everything coming out was he's going to miss the entire season. And now it looks like he
It
might
looked
be
bad
ready
early.
for week 1.
Okay. Yeah, it looked really bad early, and some of the reports are coming out that it might have been in a Achilles. You were getting reports of that, or the knee, and it didn't look good. But then I heard, yeah, it wasn't as bad as they first thought. So he may play year open. He may not miss any time then in terms of games.
Yeah, they're saying that he may play against the Bills opening day.
Okay, well that's good. I mean, we love that guy in Philly, man. He was a big part of our secondary.
Good player.
Yeah, he really is a good player. He's a ball hawk. He's a really physical player against the run. So he'll miss the occasional tackle every once in a while. But he's a very good player. So that's a good pickup by you, for sure. And we want him to be healthy. We wish him well there and for the Texans.
Yeah, I was excited when we got him. Although once we got him, I couldn't believe how much trash talking he talked about.
He talks a lot of trash. Well, he's a trash talker anyway. But yeah, he did trash talk the Eagles too. But that's what you'll find out about him. He will lead your team in trash talking for sure.
So he's a Stephon Diggs. Although Diggs hasn't trash talked the Texans yet, which I'm surprised about.
Yeah.
What we're gonna miss not having CJ GJ on our team is the big sticks that he had in the run game. I mean, they were major plays on 3rd and short, 4th and 1, where he just come up, fill the hole, and send a guy 30 pounds, 50 pounds heavier than him backwards. Like that dude brings it.
Yeah, he does.
Player. Yep. He'll be happy to have him. 100%.
Bring your defense a lot of energy. Like I said, yeah, he'll bring your defense a lot of energy. He'll stick it to the run, like Matt was just saying. He's really physical in the box when he brings them up against runs for run support. And again, he's a ball hawk too. So when the ball's up in the air, he'll even take it away from your cornerbacks if he wants to. He did that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's taking it away from Stingley Jr. He might be the best corner in the league.
Yeah, you do have some good. I mean, you have a good solid. So let's talk more now that we got past the Metchie deal. Let's talk. We'll give you some time to talk up your Texans. What is your thoughts and outlook and prediction heading into the season? Are you guys? I mean, you got Stroud last year, who had maybe a little bit of a, I don't know if we'll call it a step back, but he certainly didn't have as good of a year as his rookie season. Sometimes it happens with young quarterbacks. I just don't think he's a really good quarterback. And they had some injuries, that he was dealing with on offense last year. I think Nico Collins, I'll just give you a quick little, my own personal, Nico Collins is one of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL. I think he's definitely one of the most dangerous, legit weapons as far as wide receiver. I think I like your coach a lot. He's a former Eagle,
and
Nico.
Former Texan. Well, don't forget that.
That's true.
Texan
He's more known for the Texans, but he was a former Eagle. Just saying.
He was a former Eagle.
We want to give him some love, and so that's it for me. So what are your thoughts on the Texans? Give us the good, the bad, the ugly, and all that heading into the 2025 season.
I think the good right now is, for the most part, knock on wood, there's not much injuries right now. The only injury of a big starter player right now, minus Tank Dell, which he'll be out for most of the season. They said he might be ready for playoffs.
That's good.
is CJ Gardner-Johnson, and they're saying he might even be back week 1.
Right.
So as of right now, all the training camp injuries that we see goes through the roof with most teams, we haven't hit that yet.
How about Joe Mixon though? Is he banged up a little bit? What's his story?
So Joe Mixon, they're saying he's ready for week 1, but as of right now, he's gonna lose his starting position. They're saying it's gonna go to Nick Chubb.
Oh, Matt, that's where you missed this, Nick. But about what was it? About 3 or 4 episodes ago. It was before the season, before preseason. Matt's like, you know what? I think the Eagles would be great if they went after Nick Chubb as a free agent.
Yeah.
Signed with the Texans until the end of the show.
Not knowing that he had signed with the Texans.
For $4 million. How do you get that quality of a player for $4 million?
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And he looks like incredible shape. Like I was watching some workout videos before we were taping last week or 2 weeks ago. And I was like, is Chubb still out there? Like, this dude needs to be on our team. Like, what a perfect backup for Barkley. And then I'm like, the Texans. He signed with the Texans like 2 days earlier. And I'm like, God, son of a. But I'm curious about that because I was looking at that heavily because I've been doing some mock drafts in fantasy football, and I have pick number 4. And guess who keeps falling to me? Where the round where I need another running back is Joe Mixon. And I'm like, God, if I get Mixon first, I got to get Chubb. But I'm like, but I've been reading that Mixon missed some time and Chubb looks great. So I'm like, I don't know. Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, Mixon has a high ankle sprain right now. And
those can linger.
A lot of the offensive, like the Rams coaches who we have as our offensive coordinator right now, he said from day 1 he wanted to get Nick Chubb, and right away, as soon as he was announced, he went right after Nick Chubb, and they were in negotiations for about a week before the Texans signed him. I don't know how we were in negotiations for a week when we only got him for $4 million. Like we must have offered him like $2 million at the beginning for us to be in negotiations for a week. But he got his guy. That's who he wanted from the get-go, and he said it as soon as he welcomed him. It was the offensive coordinator who welcomed him. It wasn't even Miko. He was like, I want him. I played against him many times, and he destroyed us every time.
Beast.
Yeah. He's an easy guy to root for. He's a class act type of player. He's been through a lot, and it was like his second major knee injury. And that second one was brutal, if you remember that one. The fact that he came back alone from that second injury, that was one of those gruesome ones you hate to see on television. So I'm a huge Nick Chubb guy, and so you're saying he's got a chance to actually be the starter.
As of right now, he's listed as number 2 on depth, but from everything that all the major Texans insiders have been saying is they're looking to possibly trade Joe Mixon at the trade deadline.
Ooh,
okay.
Who's the third guy? Who's sitting?
Well,
Chubb and Mixon.
So there are 3 other running backs in there. They just cut one. There's Daria Gubawale, if you remember him, who's like a third down scat back.
Good job.
Played for a lot of teams.
By the way.
What was that?
I said good job with the pronunciation.
Oh, thank you. Well, his sister is also a WNBA player who played for the Connecticut Sun, so I heard it all the time.
Oh, really? Okay. Didn't know that.
Now his sister, I think, plays for the Mystics, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So good genes there. And then we also have, like I said, we just got rid of JJ Taylor, and then we have one other one. We have the rookie that we got in the 5th round. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Okay.
Don't worry, that happens to us too.
So we have a lot of people in the running back room.
Okay.
Gotcha. So Dell out.
All right. Well, that's interesting.
Who's your number 2? Stephon Diggs, number 2 guy, playing across from Nico Collins then?
No, Stephon Diggs plays for the Patriots.
Oh, Patriots.
Yeah, Diggs is on Patriots.
So who's the number 2 wide receiver across from Nico at the start?
Jaden Higgins. We were actually on with the draft, when I was like, I hope the Texans get Higgins. And then we traded back and still got Higgins.
Right. Okay. So what round did you draft him in? Second round?
Second
round? Okay.
Mid-second, and then we got Noel in the 3rd round.
Okay. So you must feel pretty good, or the team must feel pretty good about their wide receiver position to move on from Metchie, right?
Yeah, we love Xavier Hutchinson.
Okay.
Like, he is such. If you remember, I'm sure you do, being an Eagles fan, who would you consider the best kick return specialist ever? Just went into the Hall of Fame.
Devin Hester.
Oh, yeah.
Devin Hester.
Do you remember everything he used to do, running behind, getting laterals, everything like that? That's Xavier Hutchinson.
Really?
He is like that all the time.
Hey, listen.
He's not the return guy. He is
Okay.
not the return guy like Devin Hester is. But if you remember Hester as a receiver, that's exactly how Hutchinson is.
Okay. I mean, I just always caution people who start, comparing people to like all-time great Hall of Famers. It's like, let's see.
But he was not a great all-time Hall of Fame wide receiver. He was an okay wide receiver. I'm talking about play-wise.
Yeah, so he's like
no one's ever gonna touch Devin Hester probably. Like, the guy's phenomenal.
Right.
He's in the Hall of Fame as a special teamer. I mean, that doesn't happen.
So he's like sort of like a gadget type player that you can, line up at wide receiver, hand the ball off occasionally, flip a pitch out to, that type of guy. It could be a dangerous weapon. That's what you mean?
He's like a skinny Deebo Samuel. He won't run you over, but he'll do everything else that you need.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. I like those type of players. They're fun to watch.
Yeah. Same here. Okay. The only thing that he can't do is throw the ball. So he's not exactly like Taysom Hill, but he's on that sort of echelon to where he can do almost everything.
Okay. All right. Interesting guy to watch. Who else has kind of got a thumbs up during camp? Who's having a strong camp that maybe has surprised you, or you're hearing good things about that may not kind of been floating under the radar?
You guys got him. John Metchie had the best camp coming out.
He's an Eagle now. All right. We'll take it.
Yeah, no, his camp was phenomenal. Everyone was talking about him because he put his original weight finally back on. Yeah. He had that amazing game 1. He had a pretty good game 2 as well. And the other one who's doing phenomenal is Davis Mills, our backup quarterback.
Oh, the backup quarterback?
Yeah, he's looking really good too.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Mills. He had when he played, there was a little run that he had there. He was pretty decent. I remember a few years back, right?
Yeah, I remember everyone was trying to sell me Davis Mills cards because they're like, oh, he's going to be the next big thing. And I'm like, I don't know about that. He reminds me of like a Case Keenum, and that's kind of looking like how his career is going to go.
So the question is, did you take the bait?
No, I told you I don't buy anything Houston Texans if it's over $40 for PC. I just don't.
It's JJ Watt.
Yeah, you tried selling me the JJ Watt auto for years.
I know, I did. You didn't bite on that.
No. And that's probably our second best player ever.
Wait a minute. Who's better than JJ Watt?
Johnson.
Johnson? Okay. As I was asking the question, I thought of it. Okay. Yeah. He was one of my favorite wide receivers. That guy was a beast.
Yeah.
Andre Johnson was awesome to watch.
Andre Johnson was phenomenal.
Well,
best
here's
thing I
the
remember is the fight, him beating up Cortland Sutton. That was
I remember that. That was the Denver, right? Broncos?
No, he wasn't Broncos at the time.
Finnegan?
He was the Titans.
Yeah, Finnegan, wasn't it?
Yeah, Finnegan. I said Sutton. Yeah, Cortland Finnegan for the Titans.
Yeah, that was a good one. He ripped the helmet off and all that.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's just get back to Metchie. See, being that this is Philadelphia Eagles talk, let's get back to Metchie, because you brought up a great point about his body weight, because here's a guy, and you mentioned it, was drafted, big time star at Alabama, had a really good productive college career, came in diagnosed with leukemia, right? So he had lost all the weight, like you were saying, which obviously is huge anyway if you're an athlete, and especially in football. And so, because you look at his stats in the pros and you're like, man, this guy hasn't done anything, right? I mean, he's played a couple years, 1 touchdown, not even 500, right around 500 yards receiving in his career. So you're like, what's the big hype about this guy? He's, he just looks like kind of like just another name. But you mentioned, the guy had a battle with leukemia, lost a ton of weight, takes your body a while to get that back, takes plus the energy when you're battling leukemia and cancer and everything he probably had to go through with that. And then didn't he have an ankle or he had another injury? Didn't his knee or something? He got injured also.
He had a shoulder injury. He had a knee injury. He got banged up a little bit. But then if you look at the end of last season, he had 200-yard games.
Right. I think
at the end of the
how you
season.
pick him up in fantasy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And one of them, he had 100 yards in a playoff game. Like,
right.
that's hard to do. You're playing against the best of the best in the playoffs, and he had a 100-yard playoff game.
Yeah. You said he was having a very strong camp as well, and he's got all of his body weight back that he lost, and so that's he's going to make the Eagles. I mean, they're not going to make that trade, and he's not going to get cut. So from our point of view, we're trying to figure out who's going to get cut, like because the Eagles wide receivers have been playing really well all the way like 1 through 6, 5, 6 deep in camp. So we're like, wow, which one's going to get cut for the Eagles now that Metchie's here? So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So yeah. But Metchie's going to be on the team. He's going to make it.
Does Metchie return?
I'm honestly, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, Nicholas. Does Metchie return any punts? If he's doing any punt return duty for the Texans at all?
He did kick return for the first time in his career this year against the Vikings. He has never been a punt returner in the NFL. However, he did return, I think it was 1 punt in college.
Okay.
So it's kind of there, but not really.
Not a specialty. Okay.
Kick returner, yes, that's what we were trying to have him do, because we need a kick returner. We're between him, Daria Gubawale, Xavier Hutchinson, and then we were trying out JJ Taylor as well. But it looks like it's going to end up being Dare. So he may end up being a kick returner for you guys, because he only returned 1, but in the one that he returned, he went 29 yards, which isn't bad.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could try Harrison Bryant back there.
No. To be honest, I was so upset about that one hurt. He's nothing. I'd rather have Metchie 10 times over.
Yeah. I know. Well, so I mean, I know they were desperate with the injury to get a tight end, but why do you think it was Metchie they gave up?
Honestly, I don't know. I thought if anyone, I thought it would have been Xavier Hutchinson. The only thing that I could think of is Jalen Noel is kind of the same receiver as Metchie, and he's brand new. He just got drafted.
Well, Metchie is only 25.
Kind of that type of receiver.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it's
that makes
also
sense.
The last year of Metchie's contract.
Okay, yep.
And as far as your query about who's probably going to not making it, I was just looking over you guys. And honestly, I'm thinking Anais Smith.
Could be him.
Gonna be your cut.
And he's had a pretty good camp. I mean, he's played well in the preseason. He's caught a couple touchdowns. He's looked pretty good, but it probably is going to be him. So good.
It's either going to be him or Johnny Wilson, but I'm a Johnny Wilson fan being an FSU guy, so I hope it's not Johnny Wilson.
Well, here's the thing. He just got injured in the last game, and they don't know how serious it is. So he might be a guy they might put on the IR, like whatever that designation is, where you might have to miss like the first 8 games of the season or whatever it is.
Topless, PUP.
Yeah, that might happen with him. I don't know how severe his injury is. I guess they're still looking into it, but he's had a strong camp. I mean, he's a big guy, as you know, because you know him from college. Big wide receiver. And he's played very well. His issue's always been hands. Like the Eagles used him a few times last year as a red zone target, and he had some drops, but he was really catching everything this year, even downfield. So he's had a strong camp.
And that's weird because in college he
really
would
like
catch
him
over
because
anyone.
The Eagles also really like him because he's a strong blocker. He blocks really well. That's one of his strengths.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a big guy.
He is. Yeah.
He used to catch it over anyone. Like if you look at any of his college tapes,
it's huge.
He would jump over anyone and catch it. It was him and Keon Coleman. Like those two made such a dynamic duo. It was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been strong. So we'll see. I don't have an update on what his injury status is, but it looked like it was a knee, a lower leg injury. So we'll see what happens there. But I think it might end up being Anais Smith too. I just think he might be the odd man out here because Metchie's gonna bump one of these guys. We'll just see who it is. So getting back to Texans, so you gave us the positive.
Metchie's listed as your slot right now, as your starting slot.
Interesting. I mean, Dotson's had a really strong camp also.
We'll see. I think that's some positive press about the Metchie trade, but unless Dotson's injured or something,
Yeah, I
Dotson's
think Dotson's that spot.
That's
but
according to ESPN right now.
that's interesting.
I just looked at the thing.
Huh.
Dotson is listed as a wide receiver 2, not the slot. He's listed as an outside.
Oh, okay. As a
Right.
okay. Yep.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, so you talked about the positives coming out of camp. What are your concerns for the Texans? Where are some of the weaknesses going into the season that you see?
I am still concerned about our O-line. I mean, we got rid of probably our second best O-line ever. We traded him to the Commanders for almost nothing.
Yeah, Tunsil, right?
Yeah, that was, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you guys were thinking on that. And plus you sent him to our division. Thanks a lot. But that guy's a great player. I'm being like complimentary while I'm being sarcastic because I don't know what the heck the Texans were thinking there. He's a great player.
I don't know either. I mean, yes, we got a lot of draft capital, but it wasn't high draft capital.
Right.
The only thing that he had the issue with, and he's had the issue his entire career, is he causes a lot of penalties. He false starts a lot.
Okay. Yeah, didn't he lead the league? I think he led the league.
Yes, he did. He led the league in penalties.
Okay.
Yep.
That's never a good
Yeah,
thing.
and so interesting to see how he's going to reduce the penalties playing with a scrambling quarterback behind him. You know.
Well, C.J. Stroud was also a scrambling quarterback, although a lot of people don't think of him like that. Both of his years in the NFL, he had over 300 yards rushing.
Did he really?
Yeah.
And such a good thrower of the football.
Yeah, I think to Matt's point, though, he's not
drawing everyone's attention. Was like, holy cow, this kid can chuck it accurately.
Yeah, Stroud impressed me.
Playoff game,
he really did.
He ran for 75 yards. He was our leading rusher in the playoff game.
Yeah, he can run. There's no doubt.
I did not know that. I did not know that. And Mixon was healthy, right?
Mixon was healthy.
Yeah. That's
He
very.
was our leading rusher. A lot of people forget that he can run.
Yeah.
Well,
he just chooses not to.
If it's any consolation,
yeah. We'll see what Tunsil is. So who's the starting left tackle then, without Tunsil there?
We moved our right tackle over to left tackle. So our right tackle last year was Titus Howard. He is now our left tackle. And our right tackle is Lincoln Tomlinson from the Chargers.
Lincoln Tomlinson.
Yeah, I remember him. So if it's
and we got Juice Scruggs.
Any consolation,
okay line,
Nick,
but I'm afraid.
Guy Green, the guy. Yeah. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, you keep cutting in and out.
You disappeared for a while, but now you're back in.
All right. Well, if there's any consolation, Nick, I was just saying that the guy Green that you traded us in the CJ Gardner Johnson trade,
Green?
he's been horrible. Now he's injured. He's been basically a waste. So he's not doing anything here.
Right, so he's a guard guy anyways, and you guys were trying to play him at tackle, which didn't make sense.
Yeah, they tried him at both, and he hasn't impressed at either spot. So now he's hurt. So I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get anything out of that guy.
Yeah, he's a right guard too. He's not even a left guard.
Okay.
If not, he would probably make a good center too. But when we drafted him as a left tackle, and right away he was not a left tackle.
Well, he's not doing well at Stoutland University.
Yeah, he's not doing too well. He's not impressing anybody. He's got a lot of thumbs down from all the beat reporters and the guys that are just analyzing practice and whatnot. He's not playing. He's like with the third stringers before he got injured. So I don't think we're going to get much to be able to squeeze much out of that guy. And I know you guys apparently weren't able to get much out of him either, which is why you traded him.
He was actually a starter for us, though.
Yeah, but I remember
when the trade happened.
But I remember when the trade happened, you said you weren't all that impressed with that guy, though.
No, not at all. I mean, he was not worth the pick that we took him at.
Yeah, he's a first round.
To be honest, he was. Yeah, he was a third round talent that we took in the first because we needed O-line help. And thankfully this year we didn't do that. We still needed O-line help, and we didn't reach this year.
Right. So any other
that's what happens.
Any other concerns other than O-line on the Texans?
Tight end room is a little iffy. Harrison Bryant obviously didn't add much. We have Dalton Schultz, which is nice. And then we have my favorite player.
Man. What if this guy is the biggest up for you? Okay.
Say that again.
Why do you like him?
They were so him and Stroud were college teammates, and if you look at Stroud's tape before he came out, a lot of it was not to the wide receivers, it was to the tight ends. And Cade Stover's best year out of all three of his years was the year that he had with CJ.
Okay.
So he played last year, but he was third on the depth chart behind
Right.
Brevin Jordan, who's now down for a while, which is why we picked up Harrison Bryant, and then Dalton Schultz, who's easy a 700-800 yard guy. He's not anyone that's going to blow the top off the ball, but he's very consistent, as you guys know, because he was in your division for so long.
Yep. Dependable player for sure. Yep.
So I have a question for you about the Eagles.
All right. So what are your overall prediction? All right, go ahead. Fire away.
What's happening with Tanner McKee?
He's our number 2. He's not going anywhere.
Me and Geoff have gone back and forth. I think the price might get high enough as soon as one of these quarterbacks gets hurt in the first 4 to 6 weeks, right before the trade deadline.
I'm not trading him.
I think as the market heats up, if Howie can get a second-round pick, I think Tanner's gone.
I'm not trading him.
But I wouldn't move him.
I know you guys have received calls about him too, it's been saying.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I mean, the guy is extremely talented, and he's very, very good. It doesn't surprise me they're getting calls, but I would not. The Eagles are a win-now team. That's what I keep trying to tell Matt. That's why they're not going to relinquish when they have a physical running quarterback like Jalen Hurts, who does get banged up every once in a while. The Eagles have too much on the line. They're a win-now team. If this was a team that was, an 8-8 team or a sub 500 team or even just a little bit over 500 team, then maybe I'd entertain that. But when you're a win now team, which you only have a short window of time when these times come around for NFL teams, you don't give up your number 2, especially when he's as good as McKee is, and he can come in and win a few games for you till Hurts comes back. And that's why I don't see the Eagles trading him.
Yeah.
What about Wentz? Wentz is available again.
You can have him.
I'm just saying, keep your eye on New Orleans and keep your eye on the Miami Dolphins. And I could see Tanner McKee playing for either one of those teams.
I can see one of those teams. I do not see him going to the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are set up with the best quarterback position for their backup of anyone. Actually, minus you guys, if you were to trade them.
Who's their backup?
Guy from Texas.
Who's the backup in Miami?
The rookie.
Guy from Texas.
How am I trying to blink at his name? He came out of Texas.
I have no idea.
Like a first-round pick, and then he just kept dropping because he had an off year.
I don't know. You're gonna have to look it up there, Nick.
That was out.
I'm looking it up right now. Twin Ewers.
Okay, so if they drafted a rookie quarterback, then they may not be in the market. And the Saints didn't either. But the Miami Dolphins are in win-now mode, too. And that's why I'm like, if Tua goes down, which is a high probability, I can see Tanner McKee. I could see Howie trading with a bad team, which ends up being a high pick. If it's a number 2-round pick, it's essentially a first-round pick. I could see that going halfway through the season, especially if they feel confident in Kyle McCord.
There's different levels of win now.
You're missing
win now teams that are playoff contenders, and there's win now teams that are Super Bowl contenders. That's where the Eagles are. They're not going to give up McKee. I don't see it happen.
If you got Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and nobody to throw on the ball, you're kind of wasting your season.
I think you're missing the Colts too.
Colts, we'll see. They just named Daniel Jones their starter. I 100% agree. Tanner McKee is way better quarterback than Daniel Jones. And Shane Steichen is familiar with the Eagles. Eagles and Colts haven't traded since Steichen's been the coach there. That would be interesting, though.
They just named Jones a starter.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think they're going to let Jones roll for a bit before they make a deal. But if Jones gets out there and plays miserable football for 2 or 3 weeks, they might give up on both. And why not trade a pick? to get Tanner on the.
And again, to me, you have to think selfishly first. You got to think about the Eagles this year first. And if you got Hurts that goes down for 4 or 5 games, you want Kyle McCord to come in and try to win 4 or 5 games in a very tough schedule that the Eagles have this year. This could be the difference between making the playoffs or not, or seeding or not. It's not happening.
But as that draft pick value goes from 4th rounder to 3rd rounder to the 2nd rounder, Howie might be sitting on that trigger and ready to give Tanner McKee a starting opportunity. So I'm just saying. Wouldn't be surprised.
I'm saying by the trade deadline, he'll be traded, and I think
Wouldn't
we'll
be
be
surprised.
for probably a 3rd rounder.
They can always
guys
pluck
get a
somebody
3rd
off
round
the
value.
Cleveland Browns roster. Maybe they'll pull in Deshaun Watson if they trade Tanner McKee away.
Not happen. It's just not happening. It's not happening. I mean, I'll be shocked. I would be shocked if they trade McKee. That's the level I'm at heading into the season. Well, we'll see. It could happen. But my money is on there's no chance of it happening.
Nick's back. That's good. But Nick, have you seen Tanner McKee play? Because I'd be curious.
Yeah, I have.
It is. Yeah.
I actually, like an idiot, gave Jeff a free Tanner McKee autograph.
Oh, I got that from you?
Never give him anything.
Yeah, you got that from me. I gave it to you. I'm like, I know he's your backup.
The mosaic?
You don't think much of him. Yeah.
The mosaic?
Yes.
I gave you like
I know you don't.
I think I gave you like $5.
No, I gave it to you, and then you gave me.
Are you sure?
You gave me like a Cade Stover patch.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you. I couldn't remember who I got that from, but so thanks.
Yeah, that was for me, and now I'm like, I know he's your backup. I know you don't really think much of him, but I'm like, I saw him in the preseason last year, and he looked okay.
He did.
Yeah, he's my PC.
He did. He has looked sharp ever since the year. He looked sharp last year. He looks totally refined this year.
Very polished. He's very polished in the pocket. Got a good arm. Spins it well. I mean, he's really surprising how good he is because
makes quick decisions.
Yeah. Eagles got him in the 3rd round or something like that, late in the 3rd.
Hey, Cleveland Browns might be willing to pick for him. Put him at QB5. You never know.
Listen, I know teams are going to want him. That's not my debate here. It's just the Eagles are not going to trade him because they are a win now. You're not going to have Kyle McCord come in and expect him to win games.
Yeah. You're expecting that the Eagles are coming out of the gate and winning maybe 6 games straight. What if they come out and they're like 2-4?
No, okay. All right. Well, listen, you're right. I haven't thought about the Eagles being like 3-6 at week 9. No, I haven't thought about that.
3-5 in week 8. Tanner McKee out the door.
Why would I think that? We're the Super Bowl champions.
You guys have a tough schedule to begin.
We do have a tough schedule. We have a very tough schedule.
Weird stuff happens during the season. If you ask me to bet, I might.
You paint that scenario, and in full disclosure, I have not thought about that. That thought hasn't crossed my mind as far as having a really bad start to the season. Maybe they have a bunch of injuries outside of Hurts, and they're 3-6 heading into week 10, and they get some ridiculous offer for McKee. Okay, I can see that scenario. I'll give you that. I'll give you that scenario. That one I can see. Outside of that,
I will give you.
He's not going anywhere.
I think he's gone.
I'm giving you guys 11-6 as your record.
I'll take it.
I have them at about 11-12 too. 11-12 wins because they're going to get everyone's best shot, even the teams that are quote unquote weaker in their schedule, which there are not many. They have a very tough schedule. I have them around 11-12 wins too. Matt and I haven't done our prediction show. That's actually coming up probably next week. We got to do it at some point.
I'd be very happy with 11-6.
But speaking of prediction, let's get back to your Texans. So where do you see yourself in a division? First of all, do you see Stroud having a rebound year? I mean, do you think he'll put up, 27 touchdowns? I mean, he got a pretty good passing offense.
Oh yeah.
Let's play the over-under game. Nick, I'll play the over-under game with you. So Stroud, 4,000 passing yards, over-under.
You said 4,000, right?
I did.
Over.
Okay, that's good. How about 27 touchdowns, over or under?
Over.
Well, you're all right. Okay, I'll just keep it at that. That's a pretty good season. I think if Stroud does that, you guys are in really good shape.
I mean, that would just be matching his rookie year.
Right.
Even last year, he threw for 4,028.
Yeah.
Did he really?
with an injury.
Yeah, and that was his off year.
Wow, I just threw those number off my top of my head. No wonder you took the over.
Yeah, I mean, last year he threw for like 38 and 96, I think, so like 3,900.
So he didn't get the 400 or 4,000 rather.
Yeah, he went for just under last year, and then
all right. Well, that's very achievable then if he did
42.
that last year. Okay.
And last year,
Everyone think he had
everyone
such
was
a bad
hurt
year,
for
but-
him. He didn't have a wide receiver from week
Right,
11 on.
Nico was picked up as well. I love Nico. I mean, Nico's a 1,500 plus yard receiver if he stays healthy with 12, 13 touchdowns. I mean, that guy he's really good.
He's a monster.
He's awesome.
He has
He's
so
really
much
good.
muscle. It's insane.
Yeah. He's a lot like AJ Brown.
He reminds me of Megatron. He really does. It's just he can't stay healthy like Megatron, but he goes up and gets it the same way.
Yeah, he's got great hands. Good red zone threat. He does it all. I mean, Nico Collins is a really good player. All right, so give me a prediction. So let's talk about your division really quick, then give us a prediction. Then Matt and I, we have a question from a subscriber, and then we're going to wrap up the show. So give us the quick analysis of your division, and then where you guys stack up. What do you think? Give us the down low on the
our
division and where you stand.
Is getting stronger. We've been the bottom of the basement for a few years, and then I think 6-7 years ago we were one of the best divisions. So it's one of those recycling things. But right now we're definitely top of our division. The only one that I could see possibly holding a chance to beating us is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I do like their team, but Trevor Lawrence has only shown 1 year that he can do anything.
That's a huge Trevor Lawrence fan.
No, I 100% agree with you, Nick. Trevor Lawrence, I've called him a bust since the moment he was drafted.
He has
seen anything. All I see is the ceiling with him, and he's already at it. So his best stuff is what you've seen from him. I don't think he can ascend that at all. So Texas,
if he hits his best season ever, remember, if he hits that same one that he had, he's going to be an MVP candidate because his best season ever, where they went to the AFC Championship game, he was an MVP candidate. He finished like 3rd or 4th in MVP voting. He had a great year. And then every other year has been mediocre at best. So I agree. I don't think he's going to get better than that year, but if he does to that year, I don't think we're winning the division. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, with a new head coach, new system. I mean, that best year that he had was what, year 2 with Doug Peterson?
Year 2, yeah.
Year 1 with Doug Peterson after Urban Meyer.
Year 1.
Right?
Year 1 with Peterson.
Oh, yeah, year 1. It was after Urban Meyer.
Yep.
Yeah, why couldn't he replicate that success? I'm like, what happened?
They got rid of his 2 wide receivers.
I mean, Thomas is really good. They drafted Thomas last year. That guy's a stud.
They also have Travis Hunter.
Oh, that's right. They got Hunter.
Hank Bigsby.
Yep.
They have Bretton Strange, who I love at tight end, who no one's talking about.
Interesting. Yeah, because they let Ingram go, right?
Yeah. They have Cisco, who's a really, really good safety nickel corner. So they have a lot of pieces there.
Okay.
It's just, can they put it all together?
I think Cisco got traded. I think he's a Jet.
Did he? I did not realize that.
I'm
happy about
I like
that.
Cisco a lot. I agree with you. I think Cisco's a great player, but I believe he's on the Jets now. Could be wrong.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I think he is. I don't know when that happened or how that happened, but I was watching a Jets highlights the other night in the spring, and I saw Cisco back there, and I'm like, huh. So I think it's a Jet now.
Are you sure you're thinking of Cisco, or do you mean Jeremy Chin?
No, I'm talking. No, I mean
Cisco.
I mean Cisco.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we could check on that. I don't know if you still have the whatever search tool that you were looking through earlier, Nick. If you want to just punch in Cisco and see if he's a Jet.
Yeah, let me see.
I don't think he's a Jacksonville anymore. He's a good player, though. I've always liked that guy.
Oh, yeah, he's a Jet. He got traded to the Jets.
When you're a Jet, you're
when did that
the end?
Just end the season. JETS.
Yeah, Jets are a dumpster fire every year. Every year they think they're going to be amazing, and it just doesn't happen.
Man, I mean, you could not signify it more than when they traded for Aaron Rodgers. He runs out with the American flag on opening night, and 3 plays into the season, he's out for the year.
Yeah.
He was on the field longer holding the American flag running onto the field than he was as a Jet that season. I'm like, man, I actually feel sorry for the Jets sometimes. I really do. That fan base, because they're pretty loyal. And they've had a lot of pain, man.
And
They've had a lot of
They're
pain.
really bad though. Like going because I've been to many Jets Texans games. They're really bad as far as the way that they treat other fans that are not Jets fans.
Yep.
Kind of like going to the Eagles. No offense. I've been to one Eagles
I was just
Texans
gonna
game
say, as Eagle fans, we can't
Eagles,
really speak
and
to that.
I got a beer poured on me.
That doesn't. Well,
Eagles
listen,
fans
Eagle
themselves
fans have Eagle fans pour beer on them. So
terrible.
if you're wearing an opposing jersey in there, you're just kind of asking for it.
Gotta be
I was wearing D'Amico Ryans just as a
Right,
Texan.
well, yeah, it doesn't take much in Philly, unfortunately. I mean, could you have a more harmless team than the Texans? There's absolutely no rivalry there whatsoever, and you had beer poured on you. So, I mean, that's what you get, unfortunately.
So who's bottoming out the division then? So if you got Texans, Jaguars, then who do we have? Colts?
I got Colts, and then I have Titans bottoming him out still. I don't think they did enough. They picked up Cam Ward, yes, that's nice, but he still really doesn't have anyone to throw it with. They cut their former first round pick in 2022, Treylon Burks, who's now a free agent sitting out there. Although from what I have heard though, they are looking at Amari Cooper, who's still a free agent. If they get Amari Cooper with him, that could change things.
They need help there, so they should.
Cooper didn't do much with the Bills last year. I thought he'd take off after he got traded to be with a good quarterback in Josh Allen.
He's getting up there in age. He might just have lost a step now. Who knows? I mean, he is an older player now.
And speaking with the Bills, Gabe Davis is visiting, so expect to see that signing again.
Oh, I thought he was on a team. Didn't he sign with somebody or no?
He got cut.
Oh, he did. I like Gabe Davis. He's a good deep threat, if nothing else.
Yeah, he got cut by the Jaguars.
Interesting.
Really? Wow. I'm surprised he's out there. That would be a good signing. I think I like Gabe Davis, especially as a deep threat. Like I said, just a guy to
good chemistry with Josh Allen.
Send deep every once in a while. He's pretty lethal downfield.
Yeah, and that would open up things.
Yeah, I can see the Bills bringing him back
downfield too.
All right, so you see right now, if you had to put your money on it, you would actually put him on the Texans for first place?
Yes, 100%. I actually every year, like I've told you, I put $20 on the Texans winning the Super Bowl. This year, if they were to do it, that $20 would be 1,000. So they're 50 to 1 odds this year.
All right.
Last year they were 100 to 1 odds.
That's a great bet. Listen, hey, maybe it'll be an Eagles Texans Super Bowl. We'll certainly have you on.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Obviously, I'd have to make sure that everything is Texans, but
all right. So
you know what? I am wearing one of the best Texans out there, Brian Cushing.
Oh, I remember. Hey, that's my USC. He played at USC. I love all my USC guys.
I just remember the game against the Browns where he took off his helmet and then the guy just helmeted him right in the nose and blood just pouring down everywhere.
He was a beast for a few years. Did he have injury issues? Because I mean, he had like 3 really good years and then he kind of faded off quick.
His issue was steroids.
Oh, that's right. He had a steroid scandal. That's true. Well, that'll do it to you. Just ask Brian Bosworth. Yeah. All right. So final thoughts, and then we'll wrap this up. I got a question from a subscriber that Matt and I will ponder. But any final thoughts there in the Texans, and then we'll just do the question and we'll wrap things up here.
Final thoughts is absolute ceiling for the Texans. I don't see them hitting it, but absolute ceiling 13-4 with the record with the schedule that we have.
Wow.
We have an easier schedule this year.
Okay.
Floor, if we lose all of the absolute worst games, we're 7-10. I think we're landing 11-6.
Tell you what. Okay. If things do break your way and you end up somehow 13-4, that's probably good enough for the number 1 seed. Or you'll be right there for it anyway.
Yeah, ESPN analysts, when I was looking at theirs, they had us at 7-1 going into our bye week.
I can see that. Wow. I can see that. A healthy Chubb and a healthy Joe Mixon, just running
That's
it
a good backfield for sure. Yeah, I
take
mean,
pressure off of CJ. I can see that.
Stroud rebounds and Nico stays healthy. I mean, your
Jaden
defense is always
Higgins
pretty
looks
good.
phenomenal in camp.
Who's that?
Jaden Higgins, our rookie.
Okay, yep.
Like even in the preseason games, he was breaking ankles of some of the best corners in the NFL.
Well, that's what I mean. They must be really high in their wide receivers to let Metchie go, especially for what they let him go for, just getting a, as you call them, would you call them a scrap heap or a ham sandwich? Ham sandwich.
Yeah, ham sandwich. I mean, hopefully he proves me wrong. I would love that.
All right,
but
well, okay.
I don't think so.
All right, so let's thank our one of our subscribers. We all know him as Corey. Corey's got a question for Matt and I to ponder, and this is a very good question. In fact, I'm going to actually turn it over to Matt because I got to give it some more thought. If the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, is it a disappointing year? Take it away, Matt.
Yeah, I think it is. Good question, Corey. I think it is because the Eagles organization, from Jeff Lurie, the owner, all the way down to their most recent draft pick and recently signed coach, that organization, their goal is to be recognized up there with the all-time great organizations. That's where the organization's heading. They don't care about a one-and-done Super Bowl. They've got two within the last 5 years, right? 5 or 6 years, 2018 and last year. And 17. That's their goal. Not winning the Super Bowl, I think, would be crushing, right? It would be absolutely crushing. So I think they are geared up, ready to go get it. I think the players' attitudes, just like every other player that's been there and won the Super Bowl, it gets in your blood, and it's like there's no substitute for it. Gotta go win the Super Bowl next year, right? Otherwise, it's a crappy season. Ask any team that's gone back to back. Chiefs lost they had the only chance to win 3 in a row, but any team that's lost it, haven't made it, even if they make it to the championship game and they have a good season, you ask those players and they're like, nope, we didn't win the Super Bowl, so let's restart again. So that's my answer. I'll pass it to you, Jeff. What do you think?
I think my answer to that question is depends, and this is why. First of all, ultimately the answer is yes. When you have I've been saying this whole show that the Eagles are a ready now team. So just that and alone, if they don't win a Super Bowl, you'll be disappointed. So yes. However, it all depends on how it ends. Do they get to the Super Bowl and lose in a tough, game that we just are outplayed at the end? Yeah, it's going to suck that they lost. Would you be disappointed? Of course, but would I be severely disappointed? No. If they bow out in the first round and get upset by some team that you thought had no chance of winning, super, super disappointing at that point.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers knocking them out in round 1.
I still don't want to see the Buccaneers in the playoffs. So I hope anybody plays them versus the Eagles. Eagles just can't until they beat them. I'm never going to pick the Eagles against Tampa Bay. That is their kryptonite. That team. So that's how I would answer it. I know it's not. Yes, disappointed, but it depends on how they were to lose the Super Bowl. And I don't know if
let me give you a
situation that the Eagles are in the Super Bowl when they lose, or if they just don't win the Super Bowl this year. Regardless, yes, it's disappointing, but there's levels of disappointment. That's kind of how.
Let me paint the picture for how Jeff would be disappointed if the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. Eagles have a winning record. They're off to a good start. Oops. Team loses their starting quarterback. Trade for Tanner McKee. Hurts stays healthy, gets injured in the championship game. And you got Kyle McCord playing quarterback at the Super Bowl. Would you be disappointed if they lost that at the season and at the moves that they made? Or would you be like, it was a good season?
I would say it was a good season.
Would you?
Yeah.
I think you'd be so angry.
Well, I would be angry that they traded McKee, if that's what you mean. Yes, I'd be beside myself.
Yeah, I think
I'd be on my podcast screaming and yelling about it. 100%. Absolutely.
It would be for the next few episodes after that.
It would be the 49ers all over again.
But I would understand why they lost. I wouldn't be super
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, at least they have an excuse as to why they lost. But yeah, I'd be rip roaring pissed because they traded McKee. Absolutely.
Nick, what do you think? Do you think Eagles Nation should be disappointed if we don't win the Super Bowl?
I would say no, because a lot of people didn't think you were going to win last year. No offense.
I did.
The AFC is just so much better than the NFC lately.
Except
the AFC is just so stacked. Say you guys don't make it to the Super Bowl, then yes, I agree. Because there are only two other teams that I think could compete with you guys. And that's the Lions and that's the 49ers.
If they stay healthy.
A lot of people forget about the 49ers because they were injured all last year, but they're different. They're not a 7-10 team.
I mean,
they're just not.
Right, I agree.
Those are the only two teams that I could put against you guys in the NFC. However, the AFC, let's say the Chiefs didn't make it. Are they going to be disappointed? No. The AFC is stacked. There are literally so many winners in there. And I know a lot of people are going to be mad that I didn't say the Commanders. I think the Commanders was a little bit of a fluke year. Yes, they got even better.
But
most quarterbacks don't take a step forward in their second year. They kind of level out a little.
It could happen.
So yes, maybe if you want to say that, maybe, but the NFC just isn't as strong.
I like
but if you don't make it to the Super Bowl, I could see people being disappointed.
I agree with you there. The NFC is not as strong as the AFC, but the Eagles proved last year that they can wipe the floor with any AFC team. I mean, they destroyed. That was a non-competitive Super Bowl.
It was the Chiefs, though, who barely made it past the Texans.
You really
the only
think
reason that they made it past the Texans is we were beyond injured.
The Eagles broke the all-time record for playoff points scored last year. No team ever scored more points than the Eagles last year in the playoffs.
I like it.
Ever. All time.
I think Barkley's going to have another monster.
They would have destroyed any AFC team that made it last year. Nobody was beating Eagles last year.
I'll be the sole guy. I'll be the sole guy.
Now, this year might be different. This year could be different. The Eagles are, they lost some key guys on defense. We'll see how it all pans out. There's no doubt.
Offensive line. Didn't you guys lose one of your starters?
Mekhi Becton. Yep.
Yeah, but our line's still the best in the NFL, even with the loss of the one guy. And he's been playing pretty well, Steen, who's filling in. But they still have the best two tackles, one of the best centers, and the best left guard in the NFL. So
I wouldn't say the best two tackles. You're forgetting about one of the best tackles in the NFL right away. In fact, the best tackle.
He's better than Lane Johnson?
Trent Williams.
He's not better than Lane Johnson. He's good. Not better than Lane Johnson. And Mailata was number one. Mailata was the number one blocking offensive lineman in all of football, according to Pro Football Focus last year.
Corey's a Niners fan, so we'll see what he has to say about the.
Just saying.
Lane Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, Trent Williams is a great player, but you can't say he's better than Lane Johnson. You want to say he's as good? Okay, maybe.
You give me both of those as an option where I have to trade a first-round pick. I'm picking Trent Williams time after time.
Over Lane Johnson?
Over Lane Johnson.
I'll take Lane Johnson.
Well, Lane Johnson's had, 2 really good years? Trent Williams has done it for much longer.
Lane Johnson's been a 7-time Pro Bowler.
Lane's Hall of Famer.
He's going to the Hall of Fame.
The other one's left tackle, right?
They're both going to the Hall of Fame. I mean,
yeah.
Left tackle.
We're kind of like, we're kind of picking between like 1A and 1B,
Yeah.
Either way. They're both great players. So it's kind of like.
I agree to that. But I'm just saying, if I had the two there, I'm going Trent Williams.
Okay. Hey, I mean, that's fine. He's a great player. I'm sure even Lane would say, I can see that.
Super Bowl.
But I'm sure Trent would say if somebody picked Lane over him, he would say, I can see that.
Real quick.
Lane's a 2-time Super Bowl.
Getting on.
Lane's a 2-time Super Bowl.
Trade did happen.
Tonight?
Yeah, as you guys got on.
Breaking news. Go ahead, Nick.
Sky Moore got traded to the 49ers.
The Chiefs guy? The Chiefs wide receiver?
Yeah, for a 5th-round pick.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What was he, a 2nd-round pick? More?
Yeah, he was a high 2nd-round pick, and he started looking good. It's just he was injured most of his career so far.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting move. That tells you that the 49ers aren't all sold on their wide receiver depth right now. I know they got Ayuk coming back from injury. Pearsall's been kind of banged up a little bit. I think he's come back from injury too. Who else is in San Fran?
Jennings.
Demarcus Robinson is suspended for the first 3 games for a DUI, just like Jordan Addison.
Yeah. USC guy.
Yeah.
We
So
talked-
I forgot his name. Jordan Jennings. Jahad Jennings.
Juwan Jennings.
yeah,
Juwan, yeah.
he's a good player. That guy's he's always an under radar guy. He's just a guy you never think about, but he's always productive. That Jennings.
Yeah, he's like 800-yard guy, and then when he's the only guy there, he'll put up 100
7 or
yards,
8
no issue.
It's pretty good play. All right. Thanks again for the question, Corey. Always appreciate your watching and giving us a thumbs up and all that good stuff. Nick, thank you so much for joining us. We may bring you back during the season.
Thank you.
Give some thoughts at some point. We'll see how your Texans are doing. If you guys go off to a 9-1 start, we'll bring you on because we got to talk about probably the hottest team in football at the time. If that's the case.
Yeah, I don't see us going 9-1. Just to say out there.
No, I know.
Although the analysts had us at 7-1 by our bye week, I don't even think that's happening. But it would be nice. Like I said, I'm going 11-6.
About a 6
and 6
bye week. 6-2. Shoot for that.
I would love that because that means that we beat the Rams, the Ravens, the Bills, and the Chiefs. We'd have to beat at least 2 of those 4.
I'll tell you what, if Matt Stafford's not on the field with the Rams, that's an entirely different team.
Rams win. That's week 1.
Question mark. He hasn't practiced at all, and
they're talking a lot about his
back injury going on there. They have a decent backup though, right? Don't they have Garoppolo?
No, they got
Jimmy G.
Yeah,
Jimmy G's their backup.
They also have the kid from Georgia. I can't remember his name.
Stetson
Bennett.
Right.
Stetson Bennett. Yep.
Yeah, but you're right though. If they don't have Stafford, that team takes a little bit of a step back.
There's a difference in tiers between Stafford and Jimmy G. In my book. What does Jimmy G want?
Say that again.
There's quite a
gap
between Stafford and Jimmy G.
Yeah, but no matter what, they have Devontae Adams. So either way, they at least have someone to throw to. And Puka.
That team is really good. I mean, the Rams, they gave us
Kyron Williams
game last year. So the Rams is going to be tough. Matt and I, by the way, will be at that game in Philly. So we can't wait to see that.
21st of September.
We'll be there. All right, Matt, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Super Bowl or bust.
And Tanner McKee will remain an Eagle unless they are somehow 3-6 at the trading deadline. Then I'll make it a possibility he may get traded.
I think it's highly possible.
I think 3rd round pick at the trade deadline.
No, if they trade him, it's definitely be more than a 3rd rounder.
I wouldn't let him go for a 3rd. I would hang on to him for a 2nd.
The guy's the goods. If he ends up starting, which he probably will, because Eagles are going to let him go at the end of. They probably will trade him at the end of the season because they want to get something back for him. But wherever he goes, you got a bona fide NFL starter wherever he is, and that's not just an Eagles bias. That's because the guy can play.
You sure he's not Matt Flynn?
Positive, 100%.
He's not Matt Flynn.
He's no AJ Feely. He's no Matt Flynn. He's no who's the other guy that we trained and traded away? Can't remember.
Brock Osweiler.
No, Osweiler. Wow, you're really digging up the.
I mean, I'm digging up all those 1-game wonders where they got the huge contract after and just did nothing.
I remember Osweiler. Yeah,
I just remember the Matt Flynn game, 6 touchdowns.
Oh yeah,
his only start, and then nothing after that.
He did absolutely nothing after that. Absolutely nothing.
Kind of like Bobby Hoying. A Monday night game against
Bobby
the Bengals.
Hoying. Yeah, that's before.
That's
before Nick's time.
I don't know that name.
That's before Nick. You can look him up. He had a big shootout. He had a shootout game versus Cincinnati with Boomer Esiason. He was a rookie for the Eagles. And he was like all the hype and then sucked. He threw more picks than touchdowns the rest of the season.
It was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks again for the time. Nick, good luck to your Texans.
Thank you.
And appreciate your time tonight and giving us the scoop on Metchie and the Texans. And we'll see how you guys do. I definitely think the Texans will be competing for that division. I agree with you 100%. And it's just a matter of who do you draft in fantasy football, Chubb or Mixon?
Right.
I guess we'll have to find out.
We're gonna.
Okay.
It's been round 3 or 4. Snag one of them. Well, good
So
luck.
just a programming note, this Saturday, we're not sure if Matt's going to be on, but I will be having the Washington Commander fan, Johnny, who's been a frequent guest of the program. He will be on to talk about the Commanders. And Matt may or may not join us, but I will be there with Johnny on Saturday morning. So make sure you tune in then. Make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time, again, thanks, Nick, Matt. Well, if we don't see you Saturday, we'll see you next Wednesday. Until then, as always, you can say it too, Nick, if you want. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Texans.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.